You might not realize it, but the clutter in your home could actually be impacting your budget. In today's episode, we're actually going to be breaking down 6 ways decluttering can directly support healthier spending habits. So, if you're ready to get organized, simplify your life, and reduce the overwhelm in so many areas, you're going to love this episode. Are you ready to stop the chaos, the stress, the overwhelm that's filling your life? I'm Renee Matt, and together you and I are going to build simple routines that are going to change your life. When you put these habits into practice, you're going to be able to organize your life in a way where you can be there for your family, pay off your debt, save money, your house can stay organized, you don't have to stress about what's for dinner, and you still get time for yourself. So without further ado, let's get started. Welcome to the Routine Advantage Podcast. I think this is going to be an interesting one because we don't typically think about budgeting and decluttering in the same sentence. We don't look at how it can directly impact our budget the way that we declutter or the way we have clutter in our homes. So, we're going to go through 6 different ways that decluttering can directly support better budgeting. And I think this is so interesting. So, when we're going through this, I want you to really think about your home, think about your spending habits, and think about your life situation if any of these apply to you. So, you might find that only one or two apply to your mindset and what you are doing in your home and how it impacts your life. But we might go through these and you might get to the end and be like, okay, all 6 of these are impacting me greatly, but it's not supposed to be an episode where it's telling you what's wrong. It's really just making you aware so that when you are going through and decluttering, these things are in the back of your mind so that they can help you with your budgeting habits as well. So it's going to benefit you in so many different ways. And I hope that you take this more as a learning process and not as criticism, but it can impact all of us. And it just might impact all of us a little bit differently, but that doesn't mean it's wrong. So I just want you to be aware of that as we go into this episode. So we're going to go into the 6 different ways that decluttering can help with budgeting. Number one, you stop buying duplicates. I don't know if this happens to you, but this has happened to me so many times in the past where I don't realize what we have at home and I end up picking it up because it's like, oh, yeah, I think we needed this, or I don't know if we have this. We get home and then I find out that there are like 3 more in the cupboard that I didn't realize we had. So when you can declutter and get organized, you are more likely to know what you have on hand, or you can very quickly find out. So it saves you money by not having to repurchase things that you already own. And every time you spend more money on the things that you already have at home, not only are you wasting money on it, but now you are bringing more things into your home and now you have to find a home for them. So it's just going to benefit you by decluttering to help you to know what you have so that you stop buying more than necessary of the same item. Number two, you become more intentional with your purchases and avoid future waste. So, when you are decluttering, you can see how much unused stuff you have accumulated, and it helps you to just create this like natural spending awareness for your budget. So, it helps you to look at each item before you purchase it, and you can start to just mentally ask yourself, do I actually need this? Before you buy it. Ask yourself, am I going to have to just get rid of this? Is it going to cause more clutter? So it ends up having this natural reaction when you start decluttering. Every time you look at purchasing something, you're going to have this little voice in the back of your head saying, do I actually need this? And is it going to cause more problems? I just decluttered. Is it going to take away from the peace that has happened here with the decluttering? Or is it actually going to be beneficial and it's going to help you make that decision so that you can be more intentional, you can save money when you need to, and you can avoid the future waste and the future project of decluttering it when you want to get rid of it because it's just taking up space and you don't actually need it. So that one is also a really good benefit. Number three, you can sell any unused items for extra cash. So this one is a little bit different. This is where if you already have all of these items in your home, you definitely, if you don't want to go through this process, you can definitely just donate the items and get them to Goodwill, give them to people that you know that are in need of those items, however you want to do it. But there is also the option that you can sell those unused items and use that extra cash to do other things with your budget. So maybe you're putting money towards debt, maybe you are building your savings, maybe you have some other budget goals that you're trying to build a fund for. And by selling the items that you no longer need, this can help you bring in a little bit of extra cash. So this might be something like your kids' clothes, it might be home decor, appliances, furniture, anything like that that you're just trying to get out of your house. You could consider selling those and making a little extra money, which will benefit your budget. Number four is you can reduce your emotional or impulse spending and the temptation to shop. And you might think, like, okay, decluttering is not going to affect this. Why would I stop wanting to shop if I'm just decluttering? But it's interesting because, like, the mindset of a simpler and cleaner space has actually shown that it lowers our stress levels. And when you have lower stress, it means you can have less of those moments where we are bored or just browsing or trying to treat ourselves because we're just overwhelmed with everything else, and this is like that little dopamine hit of the feel good moment. If we can declutter and calm our stress and be more at peace in our home, we're going to have less temptation to want to fill the need of being happier somewhere else. So this is actually a weird like mindset shift when we can reduce the clutter in our homes, we can actually reduce the stress, and it leads to less of a temptation to go shopping to fill our emotional needs. And in turn, that's going to help us stick to our financial plan much better. So, number five is that you start to understand your true needs. So, going through your decluttering process, what you're doing is you will start to realize your patterns. You're going to see what you tend to buy a lot of. You're going to see what type of purchases you make most often, and you're probably even going to remember what type of mood you were in when you were buying those things. Were you having fun? Were you just bored? Were you putting money or putting stuff in the cart on Amazon and you're checking out before you really thought things through? Like, you're going to see your patterns when you start going through your stuff. And when you start doing this, you might realize that you don't actually need 50, 60, 70% of what you buy. And when you do this, you're going to have that mental shift where you're going to start to see your shopping habits and you're going to start to recognize this pattern where you can then shift your budget priorities more naturally, because when you are looking at how you shop and you realize that you don't need the majority of it, the next time you go to buy those things, you're going to have that in the back of your mind thinking, I buy a lot of this stuff and I don't actually need it. I need to just stop and wait and walk away. And if I really need it, I'll come back to it. But more often than not, you're going to find that you end up forgetting about that purchase and you don't need to go back to it, and you're going to save money because you start to recognize your own shopping habits and what you actually need in your home. And then number six is you save money on organizing products. So we often buy the bins and the baskets and all of the things to organize our homes, but what we don't realize is that a lot of times we're just trying to organize the clutter, not get rid of it before we organize it. So it's really important before you go out and you buy the bins and the organizing plan is to get rid of the stuff you don't need, because it's going to reduce the amount of those organizing bins that you need because you're not organizing so much stuff. So that is it might be a small one, it might be a huge one for you, but it is something to be aware of to make sure that you are getting rid of the stuff you don't need before you start to actually organize it. Now, if you need some help really figuring out how to start a declutter habit, I have several episodes, but I'm going to highlight two of them that you can go back and listen to that will help you get started in this process. And one of them is episode 51, and that is the simple 10-minute routine that can help you declutter and get rid of the junk. And then episode 119 is the declutter method. 4 simple steps. So, those will both help you get rid of the clutter and it will directly impact your budget, which is amazing. You're going to be calmer, you're going to be less stressed, you're going to feel better in your home, and you're going to be saving money, which is all they're all wins. Like, that's an amazing bundle of wins. So, the other thing I just wanted to mention is that we have had a lot of requests for another declutter challenge, and we have done this several times in our Facebook community. It's a free community that anybody can join. You just want to answer the questions when you request to join so that we know you're a real person and we can get you in there and get you approved to join the group. We don't have one set up and scheduled right now, but if you want to be part of it, it will be announced and run in that group. So if you want to make sure that you don't miss it, you're going to want to go to theroutineadvantagecommunity.com and request to join that group. And that is where we will have the declutter challenge once we get it up and running again. So Claire and I are working on it. There's a lot of like logistics in the back end that we have to put together. So we have heard you guys, we are going to do it. And I just don't have a date, but if you are in that group, you will know about it because that is where we will post it and that is where we will run it. So you can go to theroutineadvantagecommunity.com. Now, a quick recap of those 6 ways decluttering can help directly impact your budget is number one, you can stop buying the duplicates. Number two, you will become more intentional with your purchases and avoid future waste. Number three, you can sell any unused items for extra cash. Number four, you will reduce your emotional or impulse spending and the temptation to shop. Number five, you will start to understand your true needs and shopping patterns. And number six, you will save money on the organizing products. So I hope that this was kind of a fun episode to go through and maybe you learned some things about yourself. And I hope that is the case. And I hope this is going to help you with decluttering and help simplify your home so that you can feel those benefits both in your home and the financial benefits of it impacting your budget as well. So I hope that was helpful and I will catch you back here on the next episode. Did you love that episode or learn something useful? If so, would you do me a huge favor? My goal is to grow this podcast and help as many women as I can break free from the overwhelm so they can truly enjoy their life. The best way for me to do this is for you to leave a 5-star written review on your podcast app and to share this episode with a friend or in your Instagram stories. I appreciate you being here. I hope you have a wonderful day and I will see you on the next episode. Take care.